In today's What Sold video, we're going to be talking about 2 weeks worth of sales, and with that, it gets us caught up to current day. I know a lot of you have been very upset with me for being so far behind on my What Sold videos, and I apologize, but life gets in the way sometimes, and I'm just so glad that we are finally where we need to be. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I am a part-time reseller on a bunch of different reselling platforms. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about 2 weeks worth of sales. We're gonna talk about what kinds of items I actually sell and how much money I actually make from those sales. I'll tell you everything as far as numbers are concerned, even how much I paid for the item, how much I earned after you deduct fees from all the different platforms. I'll even tell you how long I had to hold on to some of these items that I sold in these 2 weeks. And if you couldn't tell, there's literally a winter storm a-brewing right now. We're gonna film this and then we're gonna go to a friend's house who lives down the street and eat some dinner. The kids have been playing out in the snow and just having a blast. But what a great way to kind of talk about the end of the new year with this like snowstorm around us, a nice hot cup of coffee. I'm just excited. Now, the sales themselves, not as exciting as last week's What Sold video. In last week's What Sold video, there were a lot of like high ticket items. This is pretty normal, for this week. There's one or two bigger items, but a lot of like things selling in that $25 to $30 range, and we're okay with that. Also in this 2 week of sales, I really had to ask myself, am I becoming a Depop girly? Like, is that my life now? Because so many, not so many, it was four items, but lots more sales on Depop than I am accustomed to, because typically I would get like one Depop sale every couple months. So this like consistent, barrage of sales coming in from Depop, we don't know what to do about it. Like it's confusing my brain. But let's jump right into our sales. The first day of sales that we'll talk about is Monday, December 16th. And on Mercari, I sold this new Clinique Take the Day Off cleansing balm. It was like a full-size cleansing balm, basically just a balm that you put on your face to take off your makeup. It was 3.8 ounces, fragrance free. It sold for $12 and my net profit was $12 because at the time, Mercari was not taking any fees from buyers and I didn't have any money into that because that came from Reseller Supply Co., which is a kind of local to me wholesale company for resellers. It's a great group of guys who resell but also sell liquidation lots or wholesale lots to resellers. They're just good people and they let me try out a few of their boxes so that I could do an unboxing for you guys. I'll have, those videos as well as their contact information down in the description below. But they gave me some inventory to unbox on my channel so I could show you guys so you can get an idea of what kinds of things you would get from them if you were to purchase from them. They had like 4 of these in one of my boxes. And so like I said, I don't have any money into it, but I made a net profit of $12 on that. Also on the 16th on eBay, I sold another pair of these new with tags Tommy Hilfiger dark wash stretch straight blue jeans in a men's 36 by 32. I had 2 of these from Reseller Supply Co. in a box and I sold the other pair in last week's What Sold video. This pair sold on eBay for $29.20. I did have some sort of sale running, I think, at this point, and that was an international sale, so they paid a ton for shipping, which I was confused as to why they would want these, but to each their own. I didn't have any money into that and my net profit was $26.95. So right off the bat, 2 really great items from Reseller Supply Co. that I was able to move very quickly and make some good money on. Also on eBay, I sold this Polo Ralph Lauren blue Madras plaid button-up shirt in a men's size large. I did put the word preppy in the title. That one sold for $21.99. Now I have had this shirt for a long time. I got it as part of a reseller buyout, I don't know, like 3 years ago. It's been a long time. I only had $2 into the item and my net profit was $15.45. My first Depop sale of the week came on December 12th, which was a Thursday. And this one I was so confused by, but also so happy about because I think that it would have taken a long time for this item to sell on any other platform. But it was this pair of vintage Louis Raphael, or maybe it's Louis Raphael, I don't know. Tailored gray pleated pinstripe pants in a men's size 32 by 30. Those sold for $25 on Depop. Now on Depop, I do pay for shipping, and so my net profit is usually a little bit smaller than what you might be expecting because, you know, that shipping eats into my profit quite a bit. But the good news is I didn't have any money into those because my mother-in-law gave those to me for free. She gave me like 2 or 3 bags full of men's pants one day, and they've been a slow grind as far as listing them is concerned because they're just like older styles, older pieces. A lot of them need to be steamed, but when I get them listed, they actually sell. So these, my net profit was $17. And they were not listed for very long at all. I want to say they were listed for like a week. And then moving on to the 18th of December, which was a Wednesday, on eBay, I sold this pair of Arctic Quest black snow pants. They were like the ones with the bib, so like the little overall type. They were in a youth size 4T. I put words like outdoors and winter and ankle zips on the listing title, but those sold for, I didn't say how much they sold for. Let me do some investigating. Hold on.
3 days later.
Okay, those sold for my full asking price of $9.99. We actually got those from someone at church. She just gave us a bunch of actually like snow pants and that kind of stuff for our kids to use. My kids did use that. I believe my son wore that quite a bit. And then I went ahead and listed it because it's too small for him now. And I'm not surprised that they sold in December. You know, even right now, my kids are out in their snow pants. I actually need to get a pair of snow pants that fit me. I thought I had some, I do not. But those sold, like I said, for $9.99. My net profit on that was $7.02. Also on the 18th on Poshmark, I sold this pair of new with tags Wrangler Relax jeans in a men's size 33 by 30. These are also from Reseller Supply Co. So I didn't have any money into them, but they sold for $18 and my net profit on Poshmark was $14.40. And those sold very quickly as well. I've been saying that jeans have been selling really well for the last few months actually. Like I feel like starting maybe towards the end of October, all of November, all of December, jeans have just been selling really well. I would suspect that they're going to continue to sell well in January, but yeah, those sold fairly quickly too. Also on the 18th on eBay, I sold this pair of Clark's Cloud Steppers Breeze Rome Black Eyelet Slip-On Flats in a women's size 9.5. These are not really a winter shoe. I went and listed them at the end of October. I honestly probably didn't even get them up until early November. And I knew that that was kind of a risk because these are not the kind of shoes that I think a lot of people are looking for during this time, but they sold for my full asking price of $24.99. They were promoted at 3%. I got them as part of a 75% off clearance sale at a local consignment store. So I only had $5.50 into them and my net profit was $14.82. And it just made me really glad that I didn't wait to get those listed. Like if you asked me when's a good time to list these, I would say maybe like end of February or March as people are getting ready to do their spring shopping. But I'm glad that I just went ahead and hurried up and listed them and someone still ended up buying them. That made my day. And then moving on to the 19th of December, which was a Thursday, I had my next Depop sale. It was this vintage Teddy, that's the brand, Teddi. It was this embroidered floral gingham button-up shirt in a women's size large. You know, like this isn't anything special, but it just screamed Depop to me. Like I looked at it and I was like, this is gonna sell on Depop. And I was so right. And I just thought it was really cute and I figured it would end up in some sort of landfill if I didn't get it. But I got it at a Plato's Closet in September of 2024. I only had $3 into it. It sold for $20 on Depop. Again, I paid for shipping, so my net profit on that item was $10.02, which isn't a whole lot, but it just felt really good to move a really cool piece like that into a new home and make sure that it stayed out of the landfill. And then on the 20th of December, which was a Friday, on eBay, I had a very exciting sale of some socks. So it was this like package of 6 pairs of socks from Adidas. They were new with tags. I'm not out here trying to sell like old crusty socks or anything. Like, they were brand new. They were these super light aero ready sneaker socks, super no show for men's size 6 to 12. These sold for $11.99. They were also something that I got from Reseller Supply Co. They threw like a bunch of pairs of socks in my box. So I made a net profit of $9.79. And those sold within 2 months of being listed, which was great. Moving on to the 21st of December, which was a Saturday, on eBay, I sold this, I sold a great bundle to a repeat buyer and just one of the best humans on the face of this planet. Her name is Casey. She has been such a huge supporter of me and of my channel and just my reselling journey. Casey, thank you so much. She got, let's see, I think it's 5 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think she got like 6 items from me. She started off by buying 5 and then later bought 1 more because I didn't know it was her and I was sending out offers and she accepted an offer on something. She's just the best. So the way that it worked was I put everything all together in one package and I definitely saved a lot on shipping. So I did send her a bit of a refund to cover the fact that she paid so much for shipping. And so I don't know if I did all of my math correctly, but I think that the way I'm going to describe things to you will also portray the refund that I sent her. And maybe the way that I did the math shows me making less money per item than I really did, but I don't really care. It's close enough. So the first thing that she got from me was this Talbot's blue multicolor striped shoulder tote bag. It had a leather trim. It had pockets. It was very colorful, just very like fun. This sold, I'm saying, for $37.15. I had $5 into it from a local consignment store's sale. They were doing a 75% off of a specific color tag clearance sale. And so my net profit on that bag was $22.12. She also got from me this new Drunk Elephant Coco Mino glossing shampoo. This was another thing that I got from the Reseller Supply Co. wholesale box. I didn't have any money into that, so we're saying that I made a net profit of $21.54 on that, and I sold it for $21.15. The next thing that she got from me was this new Clinique Take the Day Off cleansing balm. It's the same one that I sold to someone else on Mercari earlier in the week. That one we're saying I sold for $11.15 and my net profit was $11.54. The profit is coming out a little bit higher, one, maybe because my math is not mathing, but also two, because again of shipping. So I don't really know what's going on, but we're gonna keep going. The next item that she got from me was this pair of Eddie Bauer Microtherm 2, that was the style name, black Vibram faux fur lined winter boots in a women's size 8.5. Those I got as part of a reseller buyout in the summer of 2023. So I had $3.85 into them. I'm saying that those sold for $54.06 and my net profit was $46.85 on that. And then the last thing that she got from me was this pair of Bear Paw Emma Brown suede wool sheepskin lined slip-on boots in a women's size 8. You guys, I have had those for so long. I was so thankful when she bought those from me and she was like, oh, I needed a new pair of slippers. I mean, she's just the best. They sold for $21.06. I am saying that I had $6 into it. I'm just guesstimating here. Again, don't remember where those came from at all, but my net profit on those was $16.13. Casey is the best. Thank you so much. I am honestly forever indebted to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The next sale that we'll talk about, also on the 21st, this was my best sale of the week, except for, you know, the big bundle sale from Casey, because that obviously was amazing. But this sale on Poshmark was this pair of new with tags, half days Alessandra pant. They were like these ski snowboarding pants in the color lightning in a women's size small. If you watched last week's What Sold video, you saw that I sold a few half days pieces. Half days is just like a great outdoor brand, kind of like Burton or, you know, some of those other like skiing, snowboarding brands. So I picked these up at a local athletic goods store. They sell like actual like things for sports, like balls and knee pads and, you know, all that kind of stuff. They also sell shoes, but also a lot of just like activewear, like clothes and jackets and snow pants and things like that. And it's a lot of really, really great brands that people know and love. but they sell it at a discount. And I went to this store one particular day and just happened to be there when they were running this great sale. It was like half off of their already very discounted prices. And I ended up spending like $744 that day because they had so many great things as part of the sale. And I had not heard of this brand Half Days when I walked into the store. I saw that the original price was super high, so I went ahead and ran comps and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I could actually do really well with these, especially considering how much they're asking. They were asking $62.48. I think their retail was like close to $300, maybe like $250 or something like that. These sold for $175, which I think was my full asking price. And so my net profit on those was $77.52. Super thankful that I walked into that store when I did. I'm sure that the cashier thought I was insane, like just buying like a ton of the same thing, but like in a lot of different colors. Like either he knew I was a reseller at that moment, or he was like, wow, this lady's really getting some great Christmas presents for everyone in her family. Like, I don't know what they were thinking, but I also don't care. The next sale on Poshmark was kind of sad, and I'll explain why. So I sold this pair of UGG black Brett fur lined slip-on moccasins in a women's size 7.5. I got these as part of a reseller buyout, again, last summer, so summer of 2023. I had $385 into them and my net profit was $16.15. But I made a big error, and that is when I was taking a picture of the tag, you know, this was one of those moccasins where there's like fur on the inside, and part of the fur was covering the tag, and it was covering the part of the tag that was showing the US size. So when I do my listings, the way that I do them is I will take pictures of everything. And so those pictures will live in my phone, but I will draft a listing and list perfectly. I'll say what the item is and I'll weigh the item. So I'll have like the weight in the listing on list perfectly. And then later that evening, or just whenever I have free time, I will add the pictures from my phone into the listing by pulling up list perfectly on my browser on my phone. This is just the system that I've been using for forever when it comes to listing. And so when I actually like fill out my listings, when I, you know, put in all of the item specifics, when I write the description, when I write the listing title, I basically do it based off of the pictures that I have taken. And I didn't realize that I was covering up the US size of the tag that showed the size inside those moccasins. So when I was creating the listing based off of the pictures, what I was seeing was the UK sizing, but I didn't know that. So I had put that these were a size 7.5 US, but that's actually 7.5 UK. And I think what happened was this person bought them. I think she opened them too late, because instead of opening a case or starting a case, she ended up just leaving me a 1-star review and telling me what happened. And I feel really bad, because had she opened them in time and had she opened a case, I would have gladly let her return them to me, because that's 100% my fault. Instead, I just gave her a really bad experience. And like I said, I feel really, really, really bad. But that's just a good reminder to me to be a little bit more diligent about that kind of stuff. That's been listed for a while, but yeah, I made a big boo-boo and I stink. But you know, we all make mistakes. Everybody has those days. The next Depop sale came on December 22nd, which was a Sunday. And I sold another pair of like ski pants or like snow pants, but these were by the brand Obermeyer, which is another great brand, super expensive as well. I was really excited when I found these at a Goodwill in a town about like an hour away. My students were in rehearsal for something. They had made like a district choir festival, and while they were in rehearsal, I went to Goodwill and thrifted. I got really excited about these because they were in amazing condition, but I didn't know till I got them home that these were actually a youth pair of snow pants, not like women's or men's, which meant that they just weren't going to be worth as much, which is fine. But they were the Pike pant, that was the style name. They were black plaid snow or ski pants in a youth size 12. They had that extended wear system, which just basically means like they'll grow with your child. Like you could lengthen the length or shorten the length. You could extend the waist. You know, they had like that little elastic waist thing that you could like tighten the waist if you needed to. So I paid $9.99 for them at that Goodwill, thinking that they were you know, just like a women's snow pants or something, but they were not, which is fine. So they ended up selling for $32. My net profit was $12.25. I'll take it. And then on the 24th, which was Christmas Eve, which was a Tuesday, on eBay, I sold this new with tags Brooks Brothers white flare sleeve shirt in a women's size 12. That I got at a $3 tag sale at a local consignment store in August of 2024. So I only had $3 into it. It sold for $24 and my net profit was $17.59. And this was one that I got a lot of kind of lowball offers on. Like people were definitely interested and just trying to basically steal it from me. So I was happy that I finally sold it for $24. I think I had it listed for $35. I was happy letting it go for $24. And then also on the 24th of December on Poshmark, I sold this Anne Maurice, that was the brand, woven Americana patriotic sweater jacket in a women's size extra large. It had toggle buttons. I don't know. I was so infatuated with this piece. I got it at a Habitat Restore store in a town about an hour and a half away. I got this in December of 2023, again, when my students were at like an all-state competition this time. It's like a 3-day event in this town and we stay in hotels and stuff, so I get a lot of thrifting done. And I just remember finding this piece and thinking it was so cool. I definitely had it listed way too high. I started it at like $100 just because there weren't very many of this type of item. I just thought it was really unique. It was made in the USA, like just a lot of really cool things about it. I ended up finally letting it go for $50 because I had it for so long and $50 was still a good price. I only had $8 into it, so my net profit was $32. It was a great sale. I just probably shouldn't have been so greedy from the beginning and, you know, had charged so much for it. And then on the 25th, which was Christmas, and that was a Wednesday, on eBay, I sold this pair of Reebok Ventilator WB Hexalite black, purple, teal sneakers in a men's size 11.5. These I got at a local thrift store in December of 2022. My God, I've had these for a long time. I let these go for $17.50 because I've just had them for so long. They were also promoted at 3%. I paid $7.99 for them a long time ago. My net profit was $4.96. Is that my saddest sale of the week? I think that's my saddest sale of the week. Also on eBay on the 26th of December, which was a Thursday, and that was the first day of Hanukkah, on eBay, I sold this pair of Nike Tournament Golf Dry Fit cropped pants. They were in a women's size 12. They were dark gray. I had the word dark in the listing title twice. Why? I sold those for $16. I had $3 into them from a local consignment store from the summer of 2023, and my net profit was $10.71. And then on the 27th of December, which was a Friday, on Mercari, I sold this package of new Adidas Performance mesh engineered fit boxer briefs in a men's size extra large. They were in the color blue. I got these from Reseller Supply Co. as well. Yeah, they just kind of threw like a bunch of socks, a bunch of underwear, like just kind of like littles, if you will, in my box. But they sold for $11.25. Mercari wasn't charging sellers any fees at that time, so my net profit was $11.25. And then on eBay that same day, I sold this pair of Talbot's blue 100% linen elastic waist pull-on pants in a women's size 8. I did put the word log and look in the title as well. I got those in August of 2024, so they'd only been listed, I don't know, like close to half a year, I guess. They sold for $27. I had $3 into them, so my net profit was $20.09. Love me a good Talbot sale. Also on the 27th on eBay, I sold this Ava and Viv, which is a Target brand, black split neck collared blouse in a women's plus size 2X. They did have like those tabbed sleeves. This was probably an older style of a piece and it's Target. I only even had it in my house because it was part of a reseller buyout that I did many years ago. So I had $2 into it. It sold for $13. My net profit was $8.20. And then on the 29th of December, which was a Sunday, I sold on Depop. So this was my 4th Depop sale of this video. video. I sold this pair of vintage Hollister bootcut low-rise jeans in a junior size 3. Those had the keyword Y2K in there because I do think that they were from like the 2000s. I don't know where I got these, but these were very popular on Depop. So much so that this is the second time that I sold them on Depop. But the first time, somehow I didn't include the apartment number when I was filling out the address for the shipping label. And so it didn't get to the person and it came back to me. When it got back to me, I reached back out to the person and I was like, hey, I got the jeans back in case you want them. By the way, I feel like my lighting is super weird right now and I don't know what to do about it, but it's okay. Anyway, and the person was like, thank you so much for letting me know. I ended up getting a different pair. I hope you can sell these. Well, I did, and I sold them for a little bit more. I think the first time I sold them for like $18. This time I sold them for my full asking price of $25. I'm saying that I had $3 into them. I don't even remember where I got them, but my net profit was $14.80 once you factor in Depop's fees, the shipping that I paid, and the $3 that I'm saying I had into them. So my numbers for those 2 weeks, on eBay, I sold 15 items for a gross sales amount of $439.89. My cost of goods for those 15 items was $41.34, making my net profit on eBay $253.76. On Depop, I sold 4 items for a gross sales amount of $102. My cost of goods was $15.99 and my net profit was $54.07. On Mercari, I sold 2 items for a gross sales amount of $23.25. I didn't have any money into those 2 items because they were both from Reseller Supply Co. And so my net profit was $23.25. On Poshmark, I sold 4 items for a gross sales amount of $268. My cost of goods was $74.33 and my net profit was $140.07. I had 1 whatnot sale with a gross sales amount of $28. Oh, I didn't talk about my whatnot sale. Let me do that really quickly. On the 17th of December, I sold this blank NYC faux suede moto zip jacket, shroom, I think that was the color, and it was in a women's size medium that I got from a local consignment store in December of 2023. I had $7.75 into it. I had it listed in my Whatnot marketplace for $28 and my net profit was $16.57. So that just gave you my Whatnot numbers as well. $28 in gross sales, $7.75 as my cost of goods. My net profit was $16.57. So in total, I sold 26 items for a gross sales amount of $861.14. My cost of goods for those 26 items was $139.41, and my net profit for 2 weeks worth of sales at the tail end of December was $487.72, which was a huge decline from the weeks prior, but that's okay. A lot of people at that point were done shopping. They certainly were not really shopping for themselves unless they were buying things like socks and underwear, but I'm happy with how my sales were, especially because at that point, I was a lot less consistent with my listing. I was very busy at school with like our winter concert. I was getting ready for my parents to come into town and my mother-in-law, and then they were in town and we were doing lots of stuff together. I wasn't very consistent with the things that I needed to be consistent on to make consistent sales. So I was happy with that. I was happy with how the year ended up. You know, a couple days left of December as far as sales are concerned, but we are finally caught up. I'm so excited to be at this point. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want to watch more of my What Sold videos, I will link that playlist right here. But thank you so much for spending your time with me. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.